Just got back after my second day of uni. I'm already so tired. I need to go to bed. Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel, and today I am going to be doing a what I've been reading video with mini wrap-ups and discussions. If you're new here, I make videos about books and Harry Potter, so stick around. I haven't done one of these videos in a while. I miss doing them, so here we go. So firstly, a book that I read recently was George by Alex Chino, and this book is about George, who was born a boy but is actually a girl in a boy's body and was born the wrong gender, and George wants to play Charlotte in the school's adaptation of Charlotte's Web, but gets told that she can't because she is a boy, and gets told that that's not something that they will allow. And this book basically just challenges gender stereotypes and gender norms, and I think it's absolutely brilliant. This book is considered a middle grade novel, and I think that it's amazing that books are becoming diverse throughout all ages and all kind of age ranges of books. I think it's wonderful. This book was really good. I loved it. It's a book I'd been wanting to read for a long time, so when I finally saw it in Waterstones, I knew that I had to pick it up and had to read it, and I just absolutely loved it. And also I read They Both Die at the End by Adam Silvera. And with a title like this, you know, you're going to expect to be emotional, to cry, to expect the worst. I still wasn't prepared. Adam Silvera wants to ruin my life, seriously. I think his mission is to make his books more and more emotional as they go along, till eventually we all just kind of break down crying because of them all. This is about Matteo and Rufus, and they don't know each other, but on the same day they get a call from Deathcast, which is a company which is able to accurately tell you the day you're going to die. So you get a phone call that day and they say in the next 24 hours you are going to die. They don't know how, and they don't know what precise time within that 24 hours, just that it's going to be that day. Matteo and Rufus meet on a last friend app, which is where you can meet someone who is also having their final day, and you can meet and spend your final day together. But because of other circumstances they can't spend the day with their family or with their friends, so they end up spending it together, and it is that day. I barely read this book, and honestly we were both so emotional and just sending each other crying messages at this book, seriously. I think Adam Silvera is a fantastic author. His ideas are really brilliant and original and creative. I really enjoy the fact that even though they emotionally destroy me, he doesn't kind of stick to that kind of conventional happy endings. His books are very real and very raw, and that's what I really enjoy. It showed different attitudes to death and how different people can react when they are told that they are going to die, and I just thought it was really interesting and definitely kind of like a really good exploration of that and how people react, and I just thought this book was amazing. I absolutely loved it. Then recently I read Release by Patrick Ness, which is a book that I was told by lots of people that I would enjoy. So I picked it up a couple of months ago, and over the last couple of weeks I finally decided to read it. I gave this book 3 out of 5 stars because I was just kind of like impartial to it. It was just kind of like, that was okay. And then I closed the book and that was it. So this book is about a boy called Adam Thorne, and he is gay but he is not out. His father is part of the church and he has very strict beliefs about that. Adam is kind of struggling between someone that he used to have feelings for and used to go out with, and the person that he's seeing now, and lots of things happen throughout this book, and basically he has what he considers like one of the worst days because loads of things happen. He just keeps being hit with loads of different news and lots of different things. So that's kind of like the gist of it. And then also there has been a killing and a girl died, and her ghost is kind of around, kind of lost and trying to figure out why she's still here and kind of what it was that led her to be dead, essentially. And it's kind of like dual perspectives between Adam and the ghost, and a lot of this was kind of symbolising different things and symbolising release, essentially letting go, which I thought was really clever. And there were definitely themes in this which I really appreciated. I thought were really good. I thought that Patrick Ness explored them fantastically and dealt with these topics in such a good way. But I just felt like, because it was such a short space of time, it was just kind of like a day in a life and just kind of like a little chunk of someone's life, and the book's quite short. To me it just sort of felt like, okay then, like, okay, that's what happened in that day of his life, and I didn't kind of feel like I knew him well. Like, it wasn't kind of like it built up for me to get to know him, or I got to get to know him sort of afterwards. It was just kind of like a little chunk of his day, that was it. Tagline is, sometimes the end of the world can be the start of your life, and I really liked that, and kind of how bad things don't always have to stay bad things and have the good things that they can bring about, which I think was really cool. And there was definitely some themes in this which I thought was really good. But overall, I just sort of finished it and thought, okay, yeah, that was alright. That was it. So I don't know if that's just me not fully getting it or if it was the book, but yeah, that was my personal opinion of it. I did enjoy it, but I wasn't like, this was the best thing I've ever read ever. You get me? Then I read The Gentleman's Guide to Vice and Virtue by Mackenzie Lee. I kind of dual read this book as an audiobook and on my Kindle, and oh my goodness. This book follows a 17-year-old Henry Montgomery, or Monty as he is known, who was kind of like the son of a gentleman. His dad has some money, he has a business. Henry is expected to kind of be the heir, to kind of come and work for the business and stuff. Henry and his friend Percy are going on their tour of Europe before Percy goes to law school in Holland and Monty joins his father and starts working for him. And that tour kind of turns into a bit of a manhunt, and everything kind of goes all pear-shaped. Monty is kind of dealing with his feelings for Percy because he thinks that they're not reciprocated. Percy is also dealing with things, and you know, lots of stuff goes down. I loved this book so much. It's set in the late 1700s. I thought it was amazing. It dealt with some real important issues. Racism, ableism. It's an LGBTQ+ novel, and how people treat people with disabilities because they look different, with different sexualities, how they were treated back then, but also it symbolises how they can be treated now. The characters were brilliant, they were funny. Felicity is literally amazing. She's one of my favourite female characters, and it was just amazing. The guy that read the audiobook, I'm not sure of his name, I'll put it here or in the description. He was fantastic. He made the audiobook so enjoyable. It was incredible to hear him read the story, and this is just 5 out of 5 stars. This book was absolutely brilliant. We'll be doing a full review of Gentleman's Guide to Vice and Virtue very soon because I want to just discuss that book in a lot more detail, because honestly it was the best thing I've ever done. Then I read We Are the Ants by Sean David Hutchison. This is a book that was recommended to me by a friend, and it is about a boy called Henry Denton who is struggling with his family life. His boyfriend committed suicide a year ago, and then he gets taken by aliens and told that he could save and stop the end of the world. When I first read that synopsis, I wasn't really sure how they were going to make that work, how they were going to tie that in, what was going to happen, but I think they did it really well, and I felt like this book really dealt with some really good themes, really important topics, and did it in a really good way, in a very unusual way, but in a really good way, and I loved that so much. It took me by surprise with how much I enjoyed it. I mean, the friend that recommended it to me, we have very similar taste in books, so I thought I would like it, but it really did take me off guard with how much I enjoyed it and how I felt about kind of the things it explored and the themes and stuff, and I just think it went about it in a really good way. And finally, another book that I've been reading, I haven't finished this one yet, this is the book I'm currently reading, but I thought I'd include it, is Things a Bright Girl Can Do by Sally Nichols. This book is set in 1914, around the time of the suffragettes, and it focuses on Evelyn, who has started to kind of realise that things aren't equal and things should be equal, so she decides to join the suffragettes and start campaigning for this. And then there's also a character called May. This is dual perspectives, and May meets another girl called Nell, and they form a relationship, and they also are campaigning for the same thing, but it's what happens and the fact that's not always an easy case. I really love historical novels, books that have that root in what actually has happened in our world, and how they explore things and what they explore, and this book has been amazing so far, and it just really shows that even now there are still things which are not equal that should be, but back then there were just so many things and so many expectations for women that were just ridiculous. Women were told what they could and couldn't do, and it's just so mad. Like even this, like it says the Votes for Women on the back because they're campaigning for the right for women to vote. It's just insane to think that there was a time when I couldn't go and have my opinion of who I think should run the country and what I think should happen in the country, and that it was expected for men to make that decision for me, and just how important it is that I use that voice that these people fought for. And honestly, this book has been brilliant so far. I'm so excited to read the rest of it, but I wanted to include it in this because it is something I've been reading and it's been really good. So they are some of the books I've been reading recently. All of these books are actually LGBTQ+ novels as well, so they all have LGBTQ+ characters or elements and storylines, so also amazing. They're all very diverse and all very good novels. It doesn't seem like a lot. and that's because I have been rereading Harry Potter since June, so these have kind of been alongside Harry Potter. Just finished my Harry Potter reread, absolutely loved it. Really took my time this go around. I can't remember how many times I've reread it now, but I really took my time with this one. I made notes and I was kind of very precise with it and did sort of not rush them. But yeah, so these are the books I've read alongside Harry Potter, and like I said, the only one that I was kind of like, okay, was Release, but I still did enjoy it. I would love to know which books you have been reading recently. Give me some recommendations, or have you read any of these ones? What did you think? What have you been reading and enjoying, or not enjoying possibly, recently? Let's all have a chat down below. If you're new here, I make videos a couple of times a week, so if you'd like to stick around and join us, you can hit the subscribe button. There's also the little bell so you can get some notifications, and as usual all my other social medias are in the description as well. Run on the Road on everything, and my website is renontheroad.com. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you're doing really well, and I will see you next time. Goodbye!